Okay, welcome to January 2024. It's Tuesday, so in a sea of days and time, what the hell do? You may be overwhelmed. Just make sure you put an X when you complete the day, Jerry Seinfeld style. That is how you feel appreciation that you gave it your all on that day, and that your time was well worth it. Live as though it was your last day. And if you aren't, then you're unappreciative. And the universe will try to come after you for that. So, I got 3 other days for working at starting 11 p.m. It's also going to be raining and snowing heavily this afternoon. Winter advisory for New Jersey. And all that jazz. So, back to me. What do we have going? Let's find a spot for this. And now I'm lit. So, what wisdom, what experiences do I have for you today? My audience is, well, let's see, look at these random ass things I have, because I'm on survival mode right now. The 4-week total body workout. This is what I do regularly. If I were to articulate my thoughts and actions into a plan that it can be easily be digested by the consumer, that I wouldn't even have a business for. My business would just be teaching people. The deadlift, I can't even do that. Deadlift in general. My Asian legs just don't really grasp the concept of it very well. And it can also blow out your back. As I've had a negative experience with that before, but I quickly recovered. But still, you can still hurt yourself, provided that you don't use the lowest amount of weight. I don't know. Maybe it's just bad for people with aesthetic bodies or who have skinny type bodies. It's just not my thing. I try to do them. Modified snatch grip, modified deadlift, which is been told, best for your abs and quads and lower core and overall body. So you're missing out if you don't learn how to deadlift. You're missing out if you don't know how to deadlift. Does high school teach you that? No. Does high school teach you properly? No. Just know. You probably should deadlift as soon as, you can. Okay, snatch grip deadlift, stand facing barbell with your feet shoulder width apart, bend over and grab the bar with your hands twice shoulder width apart, drop your hips as low as possible while keeping your torso as upright as possible, keeping your arms straight, drive your feet into the floor while straightening your hips and knees to stand up, return to this starting position. This looks easy, but it's kind of actually very challenging and difficult to properly align your body. So make sure you get an actual personal trainer or coach or mentor to teach you how to deadlift. Or you can do it yourself. But more likely than not, your form has to be correct or you're going to hurt yourself. Mostly because you're going to fucking hurt yourself. Dumbbell bench press, very simple. Front squats, chin-ups, pull-ups, push press, just heavy weights above your head. A seated hammer curl, just, the classic 1980s. Just lift some weights, back extensions. That's called the Roman chair. You just do like reverse sit-ups on it. That one I found out as an adult. Very good exercise. Reverse crunch, basically sit-ups. I actually don't even do that. I actually should probably be doing that. Anyways, you should also always have a workout plan before and after and whenever you go to the gym. I've been going to the gym since forever. Probably the smartest thing you could do with your time if you wanted longevity. No matter what your condition is or how old you are, you should always go use the gym. You will not regret what time you have spent at the gym. I can't promise you a promotion or anything, but somehow it magically aligns with my core values and propels me with job promotions and all this stuff. You get stronger over time. You learn about work ethic and discipline. And over time, you just build yourself up as a person. It also keeps you out of trouble. But at the same time, you could have spent lollygagging or watching porn or playing video games or doing something stupid or doing drugs, alcohol, or just wasting your time doing lesser activities. You won't be developing your muscle. Also, you can argue that working out doesn't really develop muscle, it just breaks down muscle, which that is the politically correct term. The scientific definition of working out is actually breaking muscle. You aren't building muscle when you work out. You're just breaking down muscle. You're creating micro tears in your muscles in preparation for you to rest and sleep. That actually rejuvenates and rebuilds your muscles, provided that you eaten and consumed protein. It's a concept that is not well taught in school, in your public school, and if you don't learn it early, you get the wrong idea of what working out it actually is. Again, you don't build muscle at the gym, you break muscle down, and then you rejuvenate. You build the muscle back up when you're sleeping. So when you do that, you can't just be sleeping 7 or 8 hours. Well, when I was working out heavily, I was sleeping maybe 10 hours, 9 hours, at least 8 hours. I mean, you're going to get your sleep more. You're going to have to actually sleep more. But everyone's body is different. I have Asian genetics, so being more frail, it requires me to have to sleep more to build up the body more. It just takes a lot more time. I'm also 38 years old. Some people think I'm like 25. Again, with the Asian genetics, the only thing I've seen, the only others like build I could otherwise, see would be like black people, like super strong and like thick in their build, Whether they use it wisely or not, I don't know. You might want to consult with Chad and Tyrone about that. But, genetically, it just looks a lot easier if you were not Asian. If you were just, the offspring of Tyrone. You have an unfair advantage there. And it would just be so, a waste if you didn't build that up during your time as a youth. Which everyone should be doing regardless of your race. But, it would probably be, it's probably a super unfair advantage if you're black. And white people have their own thing going on. I don't know. But if you're Asian, you're probably, much weaker physically. And that's just how it is. No matter what you eat, drink, or whatever, it's just like, damn, yo, why are you so weak? I mean, it just is. I mean, unless you're like an outlier Asian or something, most Asians are genetically scrawny as fuck. Not all of them, but a large portion are just like Chinaman fresh off the boat. Either you're super skinny or like fat, like skinny fat. Like you're fat, but you have no muscle. It's like shit. So yeah, Asian people should definitely go to the gym. Hit up to the gym at all times, because no one's gonna save you. And of course, this creates some kind of like racism when shit hits the ceiling fan and pressured situations, like kids go off to the military who gets picked on the first, or to the point where they explode and start doing weird shit, making manifestos and all this crazy shit that we see on the news. Asian, or in high school bullying, simply because it's genetics. It's just damn, it sucks. It's like being a Chihuahua, and you're wondering why you have crazy Asian guy. It's just genetics. It's like his little dog. He has to bark at everyone. The Napoleon disorder, complex. While the big dog, normally doesn't have to resort to that, barking at everyone, everything. They don't have that, crazy ego, that crazy Chihuahua dynamic where they have to constantly bark at everything to feel dominating. And regardless, you should work out. And if you can't, then you're fucked. You're absolutely fucked if you don't work out. If you don't have a discipline. If you just rely on cheating and scamming and criminal activity. But then again, criminals who end up in jail, that's all they do is work out. I mean, a large portion of the days they're working out. Why is that? Prison. I mean, believe it or not, people can be a prison can make people people can come out better people as going into prison and coming out than when they started. And that's very profound. But whether you want to be an asshole or not, that's up to you. But I don't know. Again, with the racial thing, I've seen a lot of violent, you know, strong-looking men, masculine men. It's just your testosterone is super high or whatever in comparison to everyone else, and you're always trying to compete with someone, and that's just your testosterone is too fucking high, man. You always compete. You can't lay down. You know, you always throwing drama. You know, it's throwing this like show, and it's like they end up at the hospital or in jail or prison guards. It's just like you're just too OP, and you don't know where to focus all your anxiety and you know, sexual prowess or masculine energy or whatever the hell you want to call it. You're just too fucking crazy. So you don't know how to focus. You know, you're lacking a sense of direction of life, and you're just kind of pacing around like a nut. That's not good either. You know, there's no sense of balance, and because of that, you become an asshole, and no one else knows how to deal with you, not even yourself. That's not cool. I just would not want to be in a situation where I can't like control myself. And you can be easily triggered, very easily triggered by, you know, adversity and diversity. You know, you see a black person or Indian, and you just start calling them out like a terrorist or some shit, or you know, the racist terms, and you know, shit just hits the ceiling fan because you can't control yourself, which obviously has been happening since forever. So there's a lot of dumb things people do. All I'm saying is you have to be accountable for yourself. And some people never reach that maturity level. You know? So it's very unfortunate and sad. And hopefully you learn sooner than later. You know, cops don't want to be babysitting you in jail or in prison for something stupid you did and got caught for it. Or some guys go all in being a criminal, you know, which for me would just produce a lot of anxiety. I mean, if you did something weird to, you know, harm someone else to gain something for money or whatever, you know, the cops or, you know, whoever are going to be looking for you. That in itself would give me anxiety, so I'm obviously not a criminal or don't want to pursue that path and give them the chance to be chasing me around or, you know, whatever dumb shit I'm doing. And again, some men are just that diabolical. But I'm not talking about that, nor do I want to go into that territory. Again, you're just being dumb. There's obviously an imbalance. Or you're just in the wrong country. You know, maybe you just cheated on your girlfriend, and you know, the next thing you know, you have a death sentence or something, or you have to pay child support, or you just smoked weed, or something, you know, much more innocent, or you were speeding on the road. I don't know, after drinking a beer, you know. But anyways, those things do exist within the world of men. Like right now, you aren't even. I just found out one of my friends wasn't even allowed to bring like drinks and stuff to the Giants football game in MetLife Stadium. I think regular drinks too, not even alcohol. Most likely alcohol. But yeah. I sure have a lot to say on what not to do. And then you go through all that stuff and all that drama and doing stupid things and accusing other people of this and that and whatever biases you have towards other people, but you could never control yourself. You never could stay in a room by yourself and with your own thoughts. You're just become an uncontrollable mess. And for that, people have journals. People just journal. They just write down their thoughts, or they read. Or if you're like me, you play video games. So let's go down the list of dumb shit you could be doing. So you could be working like this kid at Batburger. Probably gonna use this as a thumbnail. Don't be like working no minimum wage job. I've seen an elderly man, a middle-aged man working at Staples for minimum wage. I know what they pay him. Shit, he looks like he just got out of prison. You know, kind of a guy. But don't be like him. For him, probably took him a lifetime or two to develop that sense of maturity where he can't use his masculinity to be a predator. And some men are just born predators. Again, with the criminal mentality and stuff and not doing the right thing, sometimes you're just born an asshole. Hopefully you'll mature quick, sooner than later. Or if you're just a full-blown asshole, which, the zodiac, there are those that are born Scorpion, a personality thing, and just like a psychopath, and a narcissist, and good-looking or whatever, and you can easily persuade people with your charm, then that's your thing, and, however far you can get with that, then, that's your thing. I'm not, knowing eventually these kinds of people screw everyone else over. Catfishing, you got like romance scams. You just keep climbing this like FBI like most wanted list because you have this like shit personality that just fucks everyone, that just happens to fuck everyone over because you have no empathy for anyone else. The Tinder swindler, male or female, these personalities just exist since the time of Marcus Aurelius, the ancient Roman emperor. But he says, if someone fucks you over, the worst thing you could do is become like them, to get revenge, feel revengeful that they wronged you. Don't be like them. And this runs deep. This runs deep, Don't cave into pain. Resiliency. Stick with a new workout plan for 8 weeks and it will probably subside. So, according to this, Men's Health Magazine, just keep doing your shit. And within 8 weeks, which is about 2 months in total, the pain will subside. Sure it does. Yeah, where else would it go? Eventually you'll stop giving a fuck. Just keep doing whatever it is. Even the hard things. Like going to school, you just keep going to school and you just say like age out of the program. At that point, you graduate. Or it's like going to work every day. You just you eventually the year is complete, and you have your W-2 form. And I'm 38 years old now, so I know what it's like. You just age out of the years. You just keep doing the same shit over and over again. Just like with my the Power of Habit journal. You just keep doing the same shit over and over again. And I'll show you. I'm just gonna grab that book over there. You know, since I don't have a time machine, I'll just show you it on paper. You know. So every month I had this habit tracker of going to work. Well, first it evolved. Work I put last, so you can see all the little check marks. There's a lot of them. So I'm just putting my schedule, going to work and stuff. And, you know, I pay my taxes and whatever. And then I always say things like read a book, even if I don't. I know reading and journaling are very important. And next week I have the same wheel, and this time it's evolved work. I notice things about myself. I pick up my, you know, bad habits, or I make things more efficient. Work, exercise, eat well, meditate, read, journal, fun, and sleep. So I'm highly accountable. If I'm having fun, that means going to the bars or whatever, which I don't do it all very often anyways. But now it's evolved to YouTube and vlogging, like what I'm doing now. So work, exercise, eat well. So I'm showing you, like, we all just age out of the program. We all just, you know, you just have that feeling, that hump day feeling, like, oh man, when am I gonna get through this shit? You know, why does it feel like it's Monday forever, or Groundhog's Day, or it's always fucking Tuesday or some shit? Eventually, time will tick, you know, and things shall pass, but during that time, don't just fucking waste it touching your genitals. You gotta be doing these things. Going to work, exercise, and sometimes you don't know what the fuck to do because you're already, like, you're just kind of like stuck. You don't have any particular new clients, you don't have new customers or whatever, you're just kind of like in a slump. In which case, the best of us would tell you to go just take a walk outside, and, you know, subconsciously, you'll think of something, or just enjoy the walk, or you just enjoy, you know, contemplating new ideas and, you know, things to do and new products to sell, or creating a product, or reselling something. A solution will arise. Or if you just like walking and thinking about stuff without having to do anything, that's great too. And so, you know, the same thing happens. I'm telling you the same fucking thing, Monday through Friday, the same fucking shit over and over again, the same thing. Like I lived it, and you have this little checkbox, and you're like, no, it's Tuesday, where the fuck is it? You just, the reason why you're always trying to retire and practice fire and whatever is because you don't have the concept that in order to feel good about having time off, you need to have had worked. This is the world of yin and yang, the world of balance, the world of up and down, a push and a pull. It's just like you can't appreciate something if you don't have any hardship. If you have never overcome adversity, you didn't really fucking learn anything. And so we live in that kind of world where, you know, there's black and white. You need to feel and work and do stuff in order to feel gratitude, in order for you to feel appreciation. Otherwise, you're just a fucking robot doing the same fucking monotonous tasks over and over again. You don't have any new thoughts or inspiration or dreams or lessons to be learned or anything like that. It's just like you're just a fucking robot, you know. But you're not a robot, you know. One of the greatest tools of man is to be a creator of things, and that is a gift. If you don't realize that, you will continue to be very robotic, like almost just like China. You know, China has, on a large scale, has become copycats of Western culture. They have Starbucks, McDonald's now, and all this stuff, and iPhones, and, It's all conceptualized in the West. Chinese people don't come up with their new ideas. They used to, like spaghetti, Marco Polo, noodles and stuff, and the compass, and they had all these great inventions back in the day. But in recent times, it's become made in China, manufactured. They just become prime time for this monotonous robotic behavior. That's what happens to your mind and your body and your spirit and shit if you don't practice these things. You just become more fucking robotic. And I know because I'm Chinese. That's what happens to you. Along the way, someone just got fat and lazy and said, made in China. And that's what they've been doing. Made in China now. Someone would argue that, China is going to be the number one superpower and that it's, necessary for them to be like that. But do you want to be on the lower rung of society, working at Foxconn, this is being some kind of like rat race, 9 to 5, pipsqueak of a person, assembling iPhones? Probably not. You would probably definitely want to be Steve Jobs, conceptualizing these deals, these new gadgets and engineering things with your partner Steve Wozniak, then being, cheap Chinese day labor. And there's just so fucking many of them. Just like this bat burger. This is a nightmare to me. Just they just mass produce the same fucking looking kid and put you on some kind of industrial assembly line and shit. And you're just regurgitating the same skills and knowledge and shit to do every day. And that's just how it was. That's how the elites in the world just manipulated and controlled, the rules and regulations and on a massive scale, and you're not even probably aware of it. And I'm guilty of the same thing. I went to the public schools, and that's why creativity and being your own vlogger, YouTuber could never have been emphasized, during the 20s, during 1990s and early 2000s. But there's students like me who did want to be a film creator. There was one guy, let's call him Lucas, and he wanted to be a film creator, a content creator, even before YouTube, even before all these new cameras and compact cameras. He was making his own footage with probably a much larger camera and stuff, and probably on like borderline VHS or like a computer CD or something. And he was still doing that. People were doing that back in the day as well, in the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s. So being a creator has always been hot. So moving forward, every single day, you don't want every single day to be the fucking same day. I went to work, blah blah blah, my retirement fund, blah blah blah, I'm getting old, blah blah blah, I just want to retire. I hear the same people saying that shit over and over again. Eventually, I make things more organized. It's another month, and I hit that up. And without this, I feel like I'm more accountable. I feel more appreciation. I had to really dig deep and say, I appreciate the day. Thank you for this day. I get to improve myself. I get to, I get to work. I get to exercise. I get to, eat a nutritious meal. I get to journal. I get to vlog. I get to read. I get to have fun if I want to go to the bar or whatever. And I get to sleep at night. Some people don't have those things. Some people are living in a state of eternal warfare, like Palestine and Jerusalem and all that shit in the Middle East. Some people don't get to sleep at night. They get to get blown up by a missile. And I appreciate living in New Jersey in the United States. But vigilance is the price for freedom. Eternal vigilance is the price for freedom. And there are missile SAM sites in not too far from here in East Andover. on a top of the hill, an abandoned military site that's been converted to an art park. Because what I said is true. Just because I live in New Jersey in the United States of America doesn't mean that other people are trying to fucking kill us, like Russia, which they have been. And then there's like old white people, old men, who are veterans that are always calling, like from the 70s and stuff. That 70s show, like Red, the dad is always talking about communists, and that shit's for real. And being a younger person, it was, like, what are you talking about? Like, yeah, that shit existed. There are assholes trying to kill us. Like, there are still assholes trying to kill us. North Korea, Russia, and Ukraine, Japan, Pearl Harbor and stuff, and even China's questionable, So this shit has been going on. Everyone's not peaceful. There exists assholes out there who are just trying to fucking kill you. And there's like spies and cyber criminals, and it's like no one's safe. And the price to pay is eternal vigilance. And sadly, if you thought your school was creepy, there's always some kind of like pedophile there. And you can't even touch the teacher that's going to touch you. The nations work the same way. There's going to be a creep trying to, creep up on your land and throw missiles and you need to be able to defend yourself. So the more money you have, the more land you have, you also have to be able to protect it. And that's what happens when you grow as a world leader or something. And you don't think that can happen to you, but it very well could, or your son. The more stuff you have, the more power you have, the more responsibility you have. You got the president or prime minister Netanyahu, Bibi in Israel. That's his land. He has to protect it from the Palestinians and vice versa. But having this land, being Jewish, having all this money, having all these resources, you have to protect it, you and your citizens from missile attacks, which he fucking failed at because he got complacent. But that's what happens. And when you're on top of the food chain, you can't just be me. BB thinks he's Solomon Chau. He can just kick back and relax because he has a shit tier job. No, the more power and money you have, the more responsibility you have in the world as well. It's all relative. The earth's not chill. This is because you have all this power. You're a king or an emperor or in modern times a president or a prime minister. It doesn't mean you can just be Solomon Chau and kick back. There are still assholes in the world, just like there are assholes trying to touch your kid at school. I mean, it just is. There's other teachers who have to be on the watch. There's crossing guards, whoever the fuck. There's coaches, there's mentor, after school teachers, or whatever. I don't know. There's online predators too, and then you have like cybersecurity and stuff. It just is. It's a dog-eat-dog world. So if you're a girl, yeah, you probably wouldn't. You feel very safe, and the first thing you want to do is run back home. I don't blame you, because there's just so much, shit going on at all times. It's a sad reality, but that's how it works. It's just like you don't want to know. I don't even want to know. So the days continue. I work all the time. See, some people work for 40 years. So let's look at the notes. Journaling, meditating, reading, vlogging, YouTube posts. So that's basically what I'm working on. And it's unfortunate that I had to pick this up at the age of 38. Because I really needed it at this time. I was going into a slump. I was becoming in a slump too, like Bibi in Israel. I was becoming complacent. And you don't do anything until you get fucking attacked, and then you have to fucking do something. Being attacked doesn't necessarily mean you got attacked. I mean, it could mean, a health scare, you got a heart attack or something, you got a stroke, or your blood test results came back, positive for high cholesterol or something. Or perhaps you even got HIV from having, wild sex parties or whatever. Or you could have been living like the great MTV American life, and you know, you went to this wild sex party, and you know, and now you have to pay child support or whatever the shit. It like there's no, like, you have to be careful and watch out for yourself, or you could be a millionaire and someone tries to sue you because they slipped on a claim that they slipped on a fucking banana peel in your fucking McMansion. So eternal vigilance, you know, is the price you have to pay for success. And or you're the weird person who just tries to sue everyone left and right because you have nothing else to lose. Like, that's what you do for a living, because you're a fucking loser, and you know, you just have to suck the money out of, you know, people who are promising. But you don't want to be that person. I don't want to be that person, so I'm not going to talk about it. So this video is spanning 40 minutes. So I'm vlogging for 40 minutes. Some people only need less than 10 minutes to get their message out or whatever. This is just my vlog. This is no different than me journaling. I'm just verbalizing it, articulating my thoughts into words in real time, being recorded on a vlogging camera. I'm not reading off a teleprompter or anything. I'm just speaking out of my heart. I guess that in itself is a skill. You know, I'm not even going to be editing this video. This just takes too much goddamn time. But for the sake of my audience, I think that will be it for today. Make sure you appreciate what you have and are grateful for what you have. Keep a gratitude journal. Write down what you are thankful for. A lot of this I just stole from someone else, from other self-help gurus, but it works for me. It's just because there's so many goddamn days where you'll just be working and you'll just feel like a fucking robot. And by writing down what is important to you, you get a sense of ownership. You get a sense that time is for you and you're slowing down, and that you're just not a cog in the wheel, even though you are a fucking cog in the wheel. You at least get to play the part or feel like you have some sense of control. And it will help you immensely find yourself, as opposed to just having that being churned by the machine and you're just going to be, you know, whatever the hell it is you're going to be, because you just didn't give enough fucks. Tomorrow will be Wednesday, Thursday, and that's it. I will get my paycheck. I will get paid. I've been getting paid since the last, 20 years or so. It's just like, now I know what I want and what I don't want more clearly. And all these small little purchases I make don't even matter in the bigger picture of things. I just want to be able to buy a home just like everyone else, and that's it. And continue working, and just having this mentality that even if I retire, I'll still continue my work or working as a human being, because I know that it doesn't stop there. Because I told you, year after year, you have days, you are given time. Just think, like, God gave you this time. How the fuck will you use it? And you just have to use your time, or you'll just be a cog in the wheel. You'll just get pushed by the machine, like a 25 machine gashapon capsule. You just come out just randomly. You don't want that. As long as you can identify things that you want and you work on those things, you'll come out as the gashapon of your choice. Again, you don't want some random to be some like a random gashapon character. The 25-cent machine, characters you get as a little kid at the supermarket. Now they have the Japanese versions, which are much more pristine and detailed and high quality. But they show you what characters they have and what stories they're from, animes or whatever, and you want to pick the ones that are jacked, that know what they're doing, that you have confidence that you like. You don't want the one that sucks. You don't want to be the Gashfon, that says, oh no, like you open up that little 25-cent machine, capsule, and you're like, oh shit, I got what the fuck, I got something I didn't want. That's how you are. You have to prepare and practice these things. Most likely the power of a habit. There are other like editions of these or whatever, or different authors similar to this. You have to specialize and be specific as to what you want, and work off of that. Otherwise you're just gonna keep coming out as this Gashfon product, this capsule, this person in this capsule that sucks, that's just random, this is like the most random ass thing that nobody wants. And trust me, I know that feeling, getting a random ass thing in a 25% machine that no one wants. And people know, oh wow, I got this guy today at work, he's pretty cool, it's a pleasure working with him. If you're that guy that's all retarded and just doesn't give a fuck, or is too immature, you kind of get that sense of like, oh no, fuck this, and no, I'm leaving. If he smells and he doesn't shower, or if you have a moment with a girl and she smells good, she looks good, you're like, yeah, this is the 25% machine toy that I wanted. Yeah, your day will go a lot smoother and much better than getting the 25% machine product that you didn't fucking want. And that works for me. That thinking kind of works for me. But there are people you want to hang out with, that I want to hang out with, beautiful women or whatever. That's just more accessible if you aren't a piece of shit human. Let's be real here. You have to be taking showers, brushing your teeth, smelling good. Your breath has to smell good somehow, some way, shape, or form. Whether you use mouthwash or chewing gum, whatever. You just have to do it. And that is more likely to occur if you are being a shitty human being. And I feel as a nerdy or geekier person, like, we don't pick up that as much social cues, because an individual can be too involved in their virtual world playing video games, and the video game's character doesn't need a sense of smell. They're just too into the video game, playing the video game. And that's what happens to a lot of guys that don't want to face reality, playing video games. You don't have to deal with hardship or adversity or overcoming things. In short, continue using the power of habit. This has been Solomon Chau. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Thank you for watching.